Welcome to Tools, Tech, and Gear. I'm Seth. In this video, I'm going to be replacing an outdoor solar light that has gone bad with this Wywna 300 watt solar light. So inside the package, you have a 142 LED light. It also comes with a 30 watt, it's a 6-volt solar panel. And then it has a little remote control, batteries not included. Then it has a mounting bracket for the solar panel. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Let's take a close-up look at this panel before it's installed on the side of the house. Like I said before, it has 142 LEDs in here. It's got your battery state indicator, 25%, 50, 75, 100. This over here says solar power is coming in, and this is the receiver for your remote control. It has an IPX67 down here, and it looks like the glass can be removed if you unscrew these two screws right here. Turn over to the back. It's an all metal design. It has the mounting bar right here. So in order to put screws into that, I'm going to have to undo right here and right here. But then you have your single cord coming out that will attach to the solar panel. All right, let's go over here to the solar panel and take a look at that. It is a polycrystalline panel. So for the specs, it's a 30 watt. Size is 600 by 350 by 17 millimeter. It's 6 volts, 5 amps. The VOC is 7.2, and it has a 1000 volt maximum system voltage. But anyway, the main thing we need to know is that it has the holes for mounting the bracket right there, and that's where this is going to go. But anyway, let's go ahead and get the light installed first. So in order to get a drill or impact driver, I'm going to have to use the little included tool to loosen these bolts here. The kit comes with a little wrench. I can reach in here and just loosen those up. For the sake of time and my sanity, I'm just going to use a socket set here to get this off. The little wrench provided is going to work, but it's very slow. All right, now that the bracket is removed, let's go install this on the side of the house real quick. My first step is to remove this old light that has stopped working. This kit does come with the hardware to attach to a concrete wall, but because I'm installing this to the side of my house, I'm going to use some Torx head screws with some large washers, and that will allow me to go through these bracket holes right here and attach to the side of the house and hopefully do a pretty good job. So I'm just going to go to the same place that I had this other light installed. I'm going to reattach this LED panel, making sure the cord is hanging down. This U-shaped portion of the solar panel mount is going to be just like the light itself. I'm going to put the two screws right in here to hold it to the house. But as far as the actual panel itself goes, I've got this little bracket here, and that's going to go onto this. So back in my little packet of hardware, I'm going to dump out the bolts and the nuts. Take one of these little nuts, slide it up under the panel here to match up with the holes that are under this. I can take one of these threaded screws and just match that up and get it locked into place here. Now the kit did not come with any kind of wrench to hold this lower nut into position, so I found that a 5/16 seems to hold it quite well here, just so I can get this panel support locked down. I'm going to be hanging the panel right up here, and it's going to only get sun about 2 o'clock on, but it should be fine. And so I'm going to angle it in this direction here so that the panel can be kind of tilted into the sun this way. So let me offset here just a little bit. All right, I probably could have gone up one more rung here on my bracket, but I think we'll make it work. So on the back, it has those holes that will match up with this. And so I'm just going to set one of these screws in here and get the panel placed into position. And then use a nut on the back of here to get this locked in. I now have the light panel installed, and I have twisty tied the extra cable onto that mounting bracket. The solar panel is installed. Now keep in mind, once you find the angle you like, you can use the third and fourth nut and bolts to keep that angle in place. But as you can see, I've got it angled off in this way. And so now let's go ahead and get the power cord attached. And that's going to be done by just taking this one right here and screwing it into this. Now, there is a little tab which will only allow it to go into one direction here. Now, it may be a little bit difficult to see, but there's currently 25% blinking on this light. And of course, there's no sun on the panel yet. So I will bring you back here in just a bit when the sun does reach around this corner and start charging this light. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun has been shining on this panel for about an hour and charging up this light. Let's see if we can see what it's blinking here. So now that it's got full sun, it's blinking all the lights up to 100%. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be solid or not, but that's what's happening. All right, so I will step back out here this evening. We will test out the remote control and see how far this light shines here on the driveway. I've stepped out after dark to show you what this light is capable of. This right here is the lowest setting. You can see it is still bright enough to walk by and be able to park your car, but I've got the remote here. Let's go ahead and ramp up to the highest setting. So this right here is the 300 watt setting, and you can see that is very bright. Definitely would be able to play ball by that, or just walk by your home and park the car. So let me show you some of the settings here on the remote control. To give you an idea of what this looks like standing up under the light, I can see all the way down to the end of the road there. So if I ramp this back down, you can see it's going to cut back down by about 30 feet or more. There is an on and off. This is a low brightness or medium brightness. On the side, you've got up or down. So if I were to click down here, you can see that it drops the light. Or I can go ramp back up here to the brightest setting. Auto just does the dusk to dawn setting. Then there is a 3-hour, 5-hour, and 8-hour setting here. So if I press this, it will just ramp down to a low percent there, or back up to a high. And then I can turn the unit off like that, or back on like that. I think I'm going to push the 3-hour setting and then drop that brightness down. After 3 nights of use, I have to say this light is performing as expected. So I've got it coming on around 7 o'clock when it gets dark, and then it goes off about 10 o'clock. So it gives me plenty of time to get back into the house. Now, the light has had no problem keeping full bars of battery in that 3 hours of time. So having the sun hit the panel over here at this angle seems to be working just fine. If you want to learn more information about this light, I'll have a link in the description down below. I'm Seth with Tools, Tech, and Gear, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Now this kit does come with some hardware to attach the bracket to a concrete wall, but yikes.